Proverbs 3:21-24. My son, do not take your eyes off them. Guard sound judgment and insight. They will be life for your soul and grace for adorning your neck. Then you will go safely on your way, and you will not stub your toe. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be pleasant. So a lot of these themes have already shown up for us in this first couple chapters of Proverbs, which should remind us that part of wisdom is hearing the same things over and over and over again, driving them down deep into your soul, whether by reading them multiple times or by continuing to think about them and practice them. Discipline yourself to use these things, talk about them with other people so that you can grow in this wisdom. But there's one particular verse I want to focus on, and that's this idea of sleeping pleasantly. In our culture, not a lot of people sleep well, whether it's because they're afraid of what's going to happen the next day, or whether they are uncertain about whether they can be happy moving forward, whether it's because they regret the things that they've done that day, and they've left some things undone and feel that they're not accomplishing enough, whether it's because they feel that they need to sleep less because they need to get more work done, or any number of things in between. We don't sleep a lot. And I think it's partially because we're afraid. We're afraid to let go of our life for a little while. We're afraid to turn our eyes off and let the world continue to pass by while we essentially do nothing. And yet wisdom will lead you to be able to sleep that way. Not just to be able to fall asleep without thoughts of anxiety on your mind, but the ability to actually let a whole lot of life go past you without ever having to touch it. In a sense, wisdom is the ability to know your limits, to see the things that go in front of your eyes and be able to say, no, I don't need that. A man I was watching on YouTube yesterday was talking about how he uses his phone. And one of the things that he does is he turns off all social media and email accounts on his phone so that those things are never showing up for him. He said, yeah, sometimes people get a little bit frustrated that he doesn't answer them immediately. But he said the vast majority of the times where people have reached out to him via email or social media and he hasn't answered them for hours, it's mostly worked out. Now, he's not exactly the Bible, but I think he's enacting a biblical wisdom idea that actually life is a lot less about you than you think it is. That your fingers need to be in a whole lot less pies, if you can borrow the analogy, than you think they do. Wisdom is the ability to step back and say, these are the things that are actually important to me, namely knowing God's word and being able to evaluate everything with the time and energy necessary to make a wise decision. That's how to grow up.